full disclosure, this lighting may look really stupid, but I don't know, we're trying something new. Hi, my name is Caitlin, and sometimes I do things. Today is one of those days. So my life is a mess, and so is my room. So I decided to clean my room while I tell you stories from my life, aka story times. So today I'm going to be telling you the story of the time I got robbed. I really don't know how to feel about it. I'm going to be sorting laundry while I'm doing this. Let me set the scene for you. So, in high school, I did this acting program, and it was a 2-year acting program. And at the end of every year, there was a showcase. And if you were a second year, you got to perform in the showcase. And if you were a first year, you were crew. Basically, you worked backstage for the second year's showcase. And at this point in my life, I was a first year, and then my friend, let's call her Annie. My friend Annie was a second year. So Annie and I lived near each other, and she could not drive. And our acting studio was about 20 minutes away, so we carpooled a lot. So one of the duties of being on crew in this particular instance was that you had to keep track of the props, aka bring them to and from rehearsal every time there was a rehearsal. Normally you would just leave them at the theater, but we didn't have access to the space we were performing in 24/7. I was only one of the only people on the crew who could drive, aka I had a place to store the prop. So even though I was not running props, still had to bring them to and from rehearsal every day. The props master packed them in a suitcase for me, so I had like a wheelie suitcase to take with me to my car every night after rehearsal. There are 2 parking garages you can park at to get to the acting studio. There's the one that's like directly across the street from it, and that costs more, or there's one that's a block away and costs like half the price. And on this particular day, I decided to park in the one down the street, about a block away. Annie and I are walking down the street, and it's after rehearsal. It's also tech week. It is tech week. So Annie and I are walking down the block to this parking garage at like 11 p.m. at night on a Wednesday. So we're walking to this parking garage, and we parked on the 3rd floor, I think, because when I parked, that was the 3rd floor was the closest available spot, because I parked there at like 5 p.m. So we enter the front of the parking garage, and we're trying to walk towards the elevator, and this guy walks up to us, and he's about my height, which is 5'7". He's skinny, he has bright blue eyes, and kind of like an eerie vibe, you know? When you're a 17-year-old girl and any man is approaching you at night in a parking garage, that's scary. So he approaches Annie and I, and is like, do you guys have any money? I can't get my car out of the garage because I lost my wallet and I need money to get my car out of the parking garage. And the first time he asked me, I was like, no, I'm really sorry. I hope you have better luck with that. He's like, are you sure? And I'm like, and my friend Annie is like scared at this point, so I'm doing the talking. And I'm like, yeah, I'm really sorry. And so Annie and I take the elevator up to the 3rd floor of the parking garage and walk towards my car. She's standing outside the car with me to like, we're talking, we're having a conversation about life and venting because we're teenage girls. So I'm opening my trunk and loading the suitcase into the trunk, the suitcase of props into the trunk. And then suddenly I see Annie's eyes go wider than I'd ever seen them before. You know, she's scared, clearly, which is valid. And it's the same guy from downstairs approaching us in a more secluded area of the parking garage. And he asked the same question. He was like, are you sure you guys don't have any money? And at this, like, I did have money, but like, there was something off about him. You know, I am the type of person to give money to people who are experiencing homelessness and stuff like that. Cause like, you know, if I was experiencing that, I would want somebody to give me money too. This guy was dressed in like a leather jacket, and there was just, I don't know, there was an eerie vibe about him. Something just was not right. He asked me again for the money, and I had some cash in the car. I had about 50 bucks in the car, in the console, between the driver's seat and the passenger seat. And I'm like, yes, hang on 1 second, because I'm scared. And I kind of like shoot a look at my friend Annie, and I'm like, like, and I didn't say this with words, but in my eyes I'm like, you know, watch my back, because like we could die, like that kind of look. So she's like watching him, and I lean into my car as quick as I can to get the money. And all I had was, I had $60 because I only had 20s. So I take a 20 and just hand it to him. And then he's like, oh my God, thank you so much. And he like hugs me super tight. And this is a stranger. Like, he hugs me super tight, and it made me uncomfortable. Like, I didn't even have time to refuse the hug. He just kind of did it. And then he like scurries off to wherever he was going. And then Annie and I get in the car and we just start crying because that was a scary experience. Yeah, technically I gave him the money, but it was literally because I was scared out of my mind. So yeah, to the man in that parking garage, let's not meet again. That was really scary, dude. Alright, that is the end of this video. If you liked what you saw, be sure to subscribe down below. All my social media will be linked on the screen. Alright, I'll catch you guys later. Bye!